I'll go through. I'm not going to cover each individual card because some of them are just kind of useless, right? Like I'm not going to talk about Lilligant because obviously 2 energy, 60, 110 HP. That's never, you're never ever going to see that card, so no point in talking about it. I think the first card that I want to mention that I like is the new Dartrix. This is going to be replacing the old one in your Decidueye deck. So you're going to run one of this guy too, you know, just to have an extra line out if you don't draw into rare candy. It's good because it's able to snipe your opponent's bench, and then Decidueye, you know, it does 100 damage to whoever's damaged, so you can even snipe their bench with Dartrix, then go into Decidueye and then snipe it again. All right, we might also have people running the new Decidueye, the new stage 2, because it's also allowing you to snipe your opponent's bench, but it doesn't give up 2 points. So yeah, actually you don't need to even snipe their bench. You could do 70 to their active for 2 energy, and 70 for 2 energy is just pretty good overall. So you might run one of these alongside the EX version too. I could see that happening, but I don't think this is going to be a big meta changer. I just think it slightly makes Decidueye decks a little bit better. We also got Buzzwole, which I've talked about in my previous video. I'm not sure how this changes the meta. I don't know if it really does at all. I think this is just a late game kind of Pokemon where you can throw on the new tool that boosts its attack up by a little bit, by 10 or 20 damage, and you use the new supporter to bring energy back and finish the game with him. So he's like a game finisher. You can throw him in any grass deck. We also got some more grass support with these 2 Ultra Beast, Pheromosa, 20 damage to their active and to their bench. So you could play that alongside Decidueye too. It might be just some Decidueye support in general. We got Kartana, which does 40 for 1 energy. I think maybe you'll play Kartana and Pheromosa alongside Buzzwole. That way you can retreat Buzzwole with Celesteela, yeah, its ability. I don't know, I'm not really sold on Buzzwole. I thought we would receive some better supporters for it, but it still seems like this downside for Big Beat is crazy, right? That's a big downside, not being able to attack again. I'm kind of worried about that. Yeah, but these are good grass supports in general. Like doing 20 to their bench for 1 energy and 20 to their active is good, and their basics too. Kartana is also really good early game. I think this mini set's just designed around supporting the current decks that we have. Blaze Fallon, which is just a really nice fire type that you can just throw in any fire deck. It'll do 130 damage for pretty much 1 energy if you draw the supporter and you lose like Charizard early game. You send this out later in the game, activate the supporter, and you're attacked for 130 damage to hopefully finish up and win. So it could be just some nice fire support too. Can run it alongside. I'm really interested to see how people throw these cards in the different types. So again, yeah, I don't know if we're gonna get too many like meta decks coming out of this set. I don't think it was designed for that. We didn't really get any water types at all now, which is good. I think a lot of people are gonna be happy with that because water got so much support in previous sets. We got a lot of dark support. We got a lot of steel, colorless, and fighting, and a little bit of psychic too. A lot of electric also, but yeah, fighting didn't really get any. Water didn't get any either, and then grass got a little bit of support. But moving on, we got a new Luxray. I'm not sure about this. It can kind of act as a tank, and you'll probably get 1 electric ball attack off, and then you lose it. But if you lose it, the energy gets transferred with the new electrical cord tool, and that 2 of that energy will move down to your bench. So that could be interesting if you start with Luxray. You can use it because it takes -20. You can use it as a wall, maybe attack once it gets destroyed, the energy moves to your bench. So that could be fun to try out. Again, I'm not sold on this. I don't think it's gonna be meta or anything, but it could be just a fun support for electric. I think Tapu Koko is really what you're gonna want to run the cord with. You slap the cord on Tapu Koko, it generates its own energy with Plasma Hurricane. You get to attack with Mach Bolt right away for 90. As soon as it gets destroyed, the energy moves down to your bench. So I think Tapu Koko, slap electric cord on it. That's going to be how people are going to play that too. We got Xurkitree. I'm not sure about this guy. I mean, you can attack 60 for 1 energy with the supporter and confuse them. That might be interesting. Zeraora. This is only good if you start by going for, like, you need to draw, you need to open with him. If you don't open with him, you're kind of cooked. Like you don't really want to draw him later in the game because he has such low HP and not amazing damage. So you want to start with him. I'm not sold on him at all. Maybe if we got like an electric fossil support in the future, then he would be good alongside that because you would be guaranteed to start with him. But right now, turn 2 50 damage is insane, but you just need to, I don't know. I mean, we already have turn 2 120 damage, right? With Solgaleo. Yeah, we already have that. So I'm not really, this guy isn't super amazing. Like, because it's just inconsistent. I don't want to draw him later in the game. Anyways, we got new Clefable. That's okay. These are useless. I think Shinodic's the only psychic that's kind of interesting. You can search for a basic, or no, actually not a basic, just any Pokemon at all. This could be interesting, and you can do that from the bench. So it's going to thin out your deck a lot. Maybe you start with this, and then you can just search for whatever else you want in your deck. It does mean you have to run 4 Pokemon. You have to fill your deck up with 4 other Pokemon. But at least when you evolve into them, you're guaranteed to find everything else pretty much, right? I'm not sold on this because, again, is it worth it? Like, it makes your deck, does it make it more consistent? Because you have to add 4 extra Pokemon just to try to draw your other ones. So I'm not even, I don't think that's too crazy, right? You're making your deck less consistent just to try to make it more consistent with its ability. That's not really that great because it's going to search for itself too. I'm not sure about that. Yeah, we got Medicham, 50 damage, 1 energy is okay. Clay Doll is really interesting too. You can stop your opponent from healing. If we that could be good against Darkrai with its potions and things like that, but that means you need to run Clay Doll, which is not very good. You can run it with anything, which is interesting, and stop their healing. But yeah, this Baltoy active at all, that would be bad. And I also don't want to search for Baltoy. I don't know, I'm not sold on that either. So far nothing really crazy that we went over yet. I think the only thing crazy is really just maybe some of the grass support with the Ultra Beasts, as well as I think the items and the tools and the supporters are really good, which we're going to talk about later. But nothing here is super standout crazy to me. Next up, we got Lycanroc, which I think has some potential. Decidueye 6, 70 damage to any Pokemon, only 2 energy. Okay, I do have to say, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I think you're going to run it alongside the EX one. Or maybe not. Maybe you'll just run this, actually. You could just run this. That might be really nice alongside Meowscarada, actually. You know, that might be dope. Actually, yeah, Decidueye is going to be pretty cool. I think you're going to see that being used. I didn't hype that up enough for sure. Lycanroc, I'm also excited about, I should say I'm excited about Tapu Koko with the electrical cord. I think that's going to be a really cool combo. And we have so many fun electric types in the game. This is really nice. You can move your energy around very easily with that. Okay, anyways, Lycanroc, I think it's going to be cool. You're going to play this alongside Rampardos. Rampardos is 1 energy. And with the old Rockruff, you can search for Lycanroc. So you're going to get Lycanroc every game consistently, which is really good. And then hopefully you just draw Rampardos quick enough that when you lose Lycanroc, after it takes like a point or 2, you can just sweep with Rampardos and win the game. That would be nice. Yeah, so I think Lycanroc maybe. I'm just worried because it's a 3 energy cost. And the meta right now is super, super fast, right? So a little worried about that. It also gets destroyed by Meowscarada, which maybe not be a big deal. I don't know. We got Passimian. Does 80 if you have another one on the bench for 2 energy. 80 for 2 energy is kind of good, but you need another one on the bench, and it only has 100 HP. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's worth contributing energy to that at that point. Palossand, 4 energy, 90. Terrible. Meowth is really funny. You discard a random tool from your opponent's hand, but since I don't know, I think your opponent will just play their tools if they see it, though. That's the thing. I think they'll just play their tools, but it's funny. It's pretty funny. You might want to run Meowth just for the memes. Persian, okay. Crocodile is another funny card where it just can delete your opponent's hand if you flip heads, but again, it's just RNG, so it's not really meta relevant, and it's expensive for 90 damage. It's really expensive. Nihilego, this one is really fun. I'm going to try him alongside Guzzlord. I talked about Guzzlord before. I think Guzzlord's going to be the best card out of this new set, and it could be the one that I really see dominating the meta. If anything does, it's going to be Guzzlord. So Guzzlord, really excited to try that. Naginadel, I'm so sorry, chat. This does 40 and poisons them. All right, for 1 energy. So that's actually pretty solid too. And its base form can do, I guess, 40 damage for 1 energy if you flip 2 heads. Not bad. This could be decent. And it's an Ultra Beast too. So that means it gets even more damage from the tools and items, which we're going to talk about in a second here. We got Dugtrio, 2 energy. Could do up to 180 damage. This is kind of absurd, right? 2 energy, the potential to do 180 is nuts. That's really interesting. But it can also do 0. So I'm not sure how I feel about coin flip cards like this. Maybe. It only has 130 HP, which is a little weak. Aggron, they did it dirty. It's like a new Torterra. Ferrothorn, it's not. Don't use Ferrothorn. I don't think you're going to use this next guy either. Maybe. I mean, it's steel, it could stall, it takes -20. I don't know. It's an ultra beast. I think Stoutland might see some usage because it, you know, it makes your opponent's attacks cost 1 more, and 2 energy for 70 damage is pretty good. What? Don't we have a card like this? Orang Guru. Where's it at? I don't even see. 2 for 40. Oh, okay. And you can get it. Well, I guess you can get them active at the same time. You'll get those active at the same time. I think, but Stoutland's just less consistent. It's the same thing, just less consistent. But you could run Orang Guru and Stoutland in the same deck and just make it so they have to pay more to use whatever. That's gonna be toxic. That's gonna be interesting. We also got Beware, which is hilarious. It can just one-shot anything if you flip 2 heads in a row. It's crazy. Again, I don't think it's gonna be good, but it's gonna be really funny if it ever happens. I want to build a deck around it. We got Null, which if you flip heads does 40. Its evolution can do 100 damage for 2 energy if you use a supporter that turn, and you will be using a supporter because it has a card that searches for it. So say you go second, you start with Null. Next turn you use Gladion, and then you evolve into Silvally because you search for it, and then do 100 damage for 2 energy, which is not bad. That's actually pretty good. Nihi Lego stacks, by the way. Yeah, I think everyone knows that. I don't know why you're spamming that in the chat. Yeah, most people know that, right? Celesteela, 120 HP, which is decent because it has a really good ability where you can swap out your active Ultra Beasts for one of your bench Ultra Beasts. I think you're going to run one of these in most Ultra Beast decks. Yeah, it's really interesting. It makes the retreat cost for Guzzlord non-existent, so you're gonna play it with Guzzlord for sure. We got Beast Wall. It makes you take -20 if your opponent hasn't gotten any points. So late game is gonna be bad. Early game it might be decent. I don't know if it's worth having a slot in your deck for this though. I'm not sure. Repel. It's going to be good against like Dark Tina. It depends how the meta develops. If Repel's going to be good because it allows you to switch your opponent's active basic to the bench. So that means they have to have a basic in the active zone. And then you can forcefully swap it with Repel. So the good thing about this is you can play it as you play supporter cards, because Sabrina does the same thing but with less restrictions. But the issue of Sabrina is it's a supporter. So if you use Sabrina, sorry, I can't talk. If you use Sabrina, you can't use like red in the same turn, which is a problem. But with Repel, you can use red. But the problem with Repel is you need to be playing the right deck. Like if you're playing Charizard, it's just useless. It's a dead card in your hand. If you're playing against Rampardos, right, or Lycanroc, it's dead also. But if you're playing against Dark Tina, if you're playing against Buzzwole, it's going to be good. So it just really depends what the meta develops into, how strong that's going to be. Poison meta. Nihi Lego stacks, by the way. With Nagindel, you can do 70 damage 1 turn, 1 energy. Yeah, I mean, that's if you draw 2 of them and the full evolution for Nagindel, right? So that's asking a lot too. I think you're overhyping that a little bit, but I mean, that could be good. Yeah, it could be good. I mean, you need to draw 2 of them. All right. Anyways, yeah, we'll try that too for sure. Electrical Cord, I think it's gonna be awesome for electric types. I really like this card a lot. I can't wait to use it. We're gonna have to try it. Beastite, it's another tool. It allows your Ultra Beast to do +10 to your opponent's active for each point you have gotten. Okay, so I guess early in the game this is useless, but later in the game it's gonna probably do at least +10 because normally you have at least 1 point. If you're going against Dark Tina, then you're probably gonna have 2 points when you activate this. So just +20 to every Ultra Beast attack that it's equipped to. So like Guzzlord's going to do 140 probably later in the game. Yeah, any of your Ultra Beasts, it gives pretty much +20 if you play against an EX and destroy theirs. So yeah, that could be interesting. I think we are going to run one of that because you don't want to start with Beastite. I think you want it later in the game. I guess you could start with it, equip it, and then it's always active. Whenever you get a point, it'll just activate. Gladion's the Searcher. Looker, I think maybe you run one of this card. I think it's going to be better as we get more supporters in the game because you're going to be able to look through their whole deck and see what exactly they're running as the meta shifts. Right now, the meta is pretty linear. Like you can make guesses on what they're running supporter wise, but as we get more supporters in the game, I think decks are going to run different things. So Looker is going to get stronger and stronger. And I think it'll be a one of in a lot of decks in the future. Lucamine, which is the one that brings 2 energy back to your Ultra Beast, which is very, very strong. So Lucamine, you're going to have to play it with any Ultra Beast deck, probably run 2 of them. 2 of her. Lusamine, I'm sorry, Lusamine. I know. Don't be mean to me in the comments for that. But yeah, that's the whole set. I'm excited to try out Buzzwole, the new Decidueye. Tapu Koko with the electrical cord. Lycanroc's gonna be cool too. Nihilego is gonna be interesting to see how that plays out. Guzzlord's gonna be crazy, and Celesteela. So there's some interesting things in here. I don't know if there's gonna be a super meta changing set, but we'll see. We'll see. I guess we'll have to play with it. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you enjoy, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Also, if you want to take a look at all of my decks that I've created over the history of my channel, just go to Godzly.com. Anyways, I'll see you in the next video.